Whoops. You see what I just did there? I took a deep breath and was so glad I finished my code, I almost made a really bad mistake. I didn't stop to comment up my code. And that's especially important in JavaScript. JavaScript is not a verbose language. It's very terse. You can do things in very slick and various ways. And as a result, good commenting is especially important when writing JavaScript. Because while it's not terrible to read, it really is helpful if you explain what your intent is, how you're doing something for yourself and for future coders, because JavaScript is so terse. That is, it doesn't have a lot of explanatory text within itself. You have a lot of literal syntaxes and those sorts of things, and so commenting is really helpful. So I've taken our mini library and framework and I've commented it up, and it's available as source code in the resources of this lecture. So you can go find the zip file for good commenting and take a look. And this is what we'll use going forward. So remember, in the real world, you might have to come back to this a year later, and you will have to refigure out what you did. I even did a check of the code while I was at it, and I had missed something. Did you notice? I didn't call the validate when you initially create the object. I did when you set the language later in the chainable function, but not when you actually create it. So I missed something important. So go back through your code in JavaScript, do a good check of yourself, and a good way to do that is to comment what you're doing so that you can double check the logic and the flow of what you've done and maybe find something you missed, as well as help the sanity of future developers that look at your code and yourself as well.